Hello. Today is Friday, July 26, 2024. This is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. And today in this area of the country, Kentucky, Lexington to be exact, the temperature will be going up to around 88 degrees. Times of sun and clouds, highs in the upper 80s and lows in the low 60s. Expect the same as yesterday. I was out for a little while. It was muggy. It was slight breeze. And today, you can expect the same. Sunrise was at 6:36 a.m. Sunset will be at 8:52 p.m. If you notice, there's a shift in how these times for sunrise and sunset are changing. Today, the wind will be around 3 miles per hour. The AQI is moderate at 88, and pollen is moderate. Oregon fire now stretches 420 square miles. Barges slam into bridge amid heavy flooding in Manila. You know, this is our season for hurricanes and storms coming off the Atlantic Ocean in this country. In other parts of the world, they are experiencing monsoon season, heavy rains and flooding. So that's part of that experience. Barges slam into bridge amid heavy flooding. There's video for that if you want to access it. As I said, this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. And if you're watching the sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Talk about it on WhatsApp. And if you're watching the sideshow on YouTube, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And the sideshow coffee cup, good for all beverages, hot and cold, black ceramic, 11 ounce. With the sideshow logo on it. Buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling. Pay me through Cash App. My Cash App tag is $TR Parker 1. So here we are on Friday, July 26, 2024, heading into another weekend, the last weekend in the month of July. And some of the stories that I ran across are as follows. Arson attacks paralyzed French high-speed rail network hours before start of Olympics. You know, today is opening ceremonies for the Olympics. It probably will be televised on most of your national broadcast stations on TV if you were able to tune in or access it via the internet. Leader of Mexico's Sinaloa drug cartel arrested in Texas. One of the world's most powerful drug lords, Ismael El Mayo Zambada, leader of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, has been arrested by U.S. federal agents in El Paso, Texas. Zambada, 76, founded the criminal organization with Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who is currently jailed in the U.S. Arrested with Zambada on Thursday was Guzman's son, Joaquin Guzman Lopez, said the U.S. Justice Department. In February, Zambada was charged by U.S. prosecutors with conspiracy to make and distribute fentanyl, a drug more powerful than heroin that has been blamed for U.S. opioid crisis. A little bit more information on that. Guzman told Zambada that they were going to look at some potential fields or something in Mexico. I don't know whether they were flying at night or whatever the case may be. Got on a plane. But Guzman knew that they were heading to the United States. But Zambada didn't know that until they landed. And he was upset with Zambada because he felt that Zambada was responsible for his father being arrested and consequently jailed in the U.S. How about that for a story? But here's the one that kind of got me. And, we talk about, okay, I'm just going to play it for you the way I found it. And it's called The Talk, Will Smith and Chris Rock. All right? Hopefully it comes across. It's only a couple of minutes, so bear with me.
Look, we all have our natural instincts. If a left hook is coming, some people want to duck, and some people naturally want to put their glove up. That's my natural reaction is this. It's the complex simplicity of greatness. And
a lot of it's timing, right?
Absolutely.
Timing's like an athletic thing.
Right.
But your timing's probably closest to your dad or one of your uncles. You know what I mean? It's like...
Why was that funny?
Hey.
What made that funny?
Look, funny is funny. And what you said kind of lit a fire under me. I'm like, this is nonsense.
It almost makes me mad, This is exactly why I started developing the habit of attacking things that made me uncomfortable. Period. It's that simple.
And you have no control over it?
Absolutely not.
Right.
That's just pure rage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, do you not like being in show business? You know what I mean? It's like...
I hate it. I hate being the most famous man on the planet. People want to see every little twinge of your eye or every little purse of your lip, and everything is so... The camera is right in your face, and it's just like everything has to be big, And
how can you not like being in show business? It's a great job, no matter what job it is. If I was back there giving some guy coffee to come out here and do the shot, I'd be happy I'm in show business.
Well, you do what you need to do. Look, the definition of who I am is very clear to me, and it also redefines who I want to be.
Now, would you believe that this was not a real situation that had occurred and was a conversation between these two men? Well, when I accessed the comments to this video, which originally was posted 3 months ago, according to the information that accompanied the video, it is AI created and generated. AI created and generated. It never happened. It never happened. But as sure as you are looking at it, you would take it for what's presented to you. I just wanted to kind of put that out there because AI is talked about as part of the conversation in so many areas. And this person has a channel on YouTube. Like I said, you can access it and it gives details, the person's name and everything else. And the comments subsequently praise this person, or at least compliment them for, making something completely out of thin air that is utterly believable for all intents and purposes. I'm just saying. Anyway, going on to top stories. Elon Musk's transgender daughter in first interview says he berated her for being queer as a child. I kind of sympathize for this coming generation that are in their teens heading into their early 20s for the way society has changed over the years from when I was younger and to where I am now, and I've been able to observe this. Parenting at its best is a full-time responsibility. But when you have a whole lot of other factors put in, peer groups, peer pressure, what society accepts, what society says is acceptable, then parenting takes on a new perspective. And when you first teach your child how to cross the street and look both ways before they cross, and then release them to the school system, then it's on. Next one, Israel-Gaza war live. Israel officials criticized Kamala Harris's call to end the war. As you know, I believe, this week anyway, whatever day it was, Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu came to the United States to address Congress and to speak on the Israeli-Gaza war. And just to flip back a little bit, so did Zelensky come to America to address Congress to speak on the Russia-Ukraine war. So, Kamala Harris calls to end the war. Next, despite free speech concerns, Trump calls for jailing anyone who burns the American flag. And these stories are amongst the top stories for today. Harris will carry Biden's economic record into the election. She hopes to turn it into an asset. As you know, the Democratic National Convention, I think, is scheduled in August, maybe around the middle or toward the end, somewhere when the dates get in the 20s. So between now and then, Vice President Kamala Harris, since she's had stepped up and been accepted as the Democratic Party's nominee for president, has to choose a running mate for vice president. So all these interactions are in preparation for that. Kamala Harris, Taylor Swift, Jennifer Aniston, and we reduce women to childless cat ladies. Again, Kamala Harris, Taylor Swift, Jennifer Aniston, and when we reduce women to childless cat ladies. This is a comment that was made by the Ohio senator when he was running for the seat in July of 2021. And it's referencing excuse me, childless women who like cats. And some of the names that he dropped into it, accompanied by the statement that they are running the country. Republicans ripped FBI director's testimony that Trump might not have been hit by a bullet. The Senate hearings for the Secret Service director were hot. She was called out on a number of decisions that she made. And actually, the session kind of erupted. I just caught part of it, and this happened to be the part that I caught. On her performance, on her decisions, and some of the answers she gave was not acceptable. Another female senator actually hit at her hard verbally for her attitude and her answers and responses. So, boom, it kind of went like that. When the FBI director came up in another session, he was questioned kind of hard as well by some of the people by one particular man on the panel as to the decisions that the FBI made, and once they were alerted, and who was responsible for the man being on the roof. And since they had observed him prior to that, why more action was not taken, to which he responded, it's an ongoing investigation. We ourselves are seeking the answers to these same questions. That's not a direct quote, but it's a paraphrases what he said. And the question that probably hit the hardest was why, if those people in charge of security, snipers, etc., whoever observed this man walking through the crowds, doing various other things, trying to access the roof, did not keep Trump off the stage until they had secured the situation and knew it was under control. So this little article about him might not have been hit by a bullet is again a stretch, One of the things that came out of it was that, okay, you have Trump hit in the ear, you have the firefighter Corey that lost his life, and at least two other people aged 50-something and 70-something that were struck by bullets, but they recovered 8 bullets. So I don't know, when the sniper hit the shooter, his reaction was more rounds hit the deck. I don't know what the situation was, but 8 cartridges were recovered from the scene. So that's ongoing as well. 2 leaders of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel arrested in Texas, officials say, which I already covered. These are your top stories. Gavin Newsom orders California to remove homeless encampments after Supreme Court ruling. The order will ask state agencies and departments to create clear policies that address homeless encampments that could pose a health or safety risk. The Department of Transportation has cleared more than 11,000 encampments over the last 3 years from underneath overpasses and near off-ramps. Kamala Harris, a Baptist with a Jewish husband and a faith that traces back to MLK and Gandhi. Interesting combination. Republicans, pay attention to who Harris picks for VP. One of them should scare us. So apparently this person is a Republican in their political opinion and action. The Harris campaign has reportedly requested vetting materials from North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. There are also reports that U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker are under consideration. So the person that wrote the article, outlined the pros and cons of each of these persons as a running mate. Pete Buttigieg, U.S. Secretary of Transportation, is gay. As an opposition mate for Trump's selection for vice president and what he touts as his credentials, to do a good job. So out of all of these, I think the article suggested that Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who ran and only has been governor for about a year in Pennsylvania, but it is a swing state. So that's an important factor, but he's had a moderate approach to most things. And the only detriment would be, and it's, out there stretching things a little bit, and if he were to run or be accepted, chosen as the vice presidential candidate for election, and lose, that it might interfere with his position coming up in the 2028 elections for governor again. But I did listen to all of his responses since the assassination attempt for Trump did take place in Pennsylvania. It's stated in this particular article that he is articulate. He does, have his ducks in a row. That's my expression, and would be a good choice. So those are your top stories and some interesting other articles that I ran across. And today is Friday. It's the weekend. That's it. Hashtag